So, hey, everybody, I have another wonderful guest that I'd like to introduce you to, Miss Leah O'Leary with Sculpted Editorial Solutions. How are you today?
I'm very well, Shelby. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. Leah, I have known you now for a few years. We are part of a couple different networking groups, but we met with a networking group of Indian Valley. And I've heard you speak. I know what you do, but I also know that a lot of the people that we network with utilize your services. And I hear raves about you all the time. And I wanted to kind of share with everyone who you are and what you do. So why don't you introduce yourself to us, and then you can tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay, well, thank you. Yes, I am Sculpted Editorial Solutions. And what that means is that I'm a business writing specialist. And in regular terms that people actually understand, it means that I'm a copywriter. And so I have a degree in English, but interestingly enough, I graduated college right before September 11th. So those doing math now know how old I am. Um, and it really stunted the job prospects for like an entire class of young people at the time. So uh, I ended up getting into office work, administrative work, things like that, working my way up the ranks at different companies. And what I always focused on wherever I was, everything I focused on was communication based. So then I spent about a decade in retirement plan compliance, which is data and puzzling and things like that. But what I really enjoyed the most was taking all of that legalese of retirement plan law, 401k law, and turning it into something my clients could understand.
Okay.
So fast forward to, growing my family, needing a little bit more flexibility in my life, doing a lot more freelance work for friends and business connections and things like that. And it was time to go out on my own. Like, this is a real business. People need help with their writing. And I joined NGIV, Networking Group of Indian Valley, and started getting to know people, started doing one-to-ones, and just, fell in love with that group, fell in love with the people who are in it, and realized that, yeah, this is what I'm meant to do, this business writing as part of your professional image. So, we're all business professionals. We all have a ton of knowledge about what we do. We're all experts in some way, but communicating what we know to the general public for the benefit of our business is where most of us get a little bit tripped up. And one thing people really struggle with is not knowing that everybody else doesn't know what they know. We think
Right.
that because I know it, I'm nobody special. I know it, you must know it. But that's not true, right? You know what seller assist is as a real estate professional, but when
Right.
you and it seems like no big deal to you, and it doesn't occur to you that explaining how that works in simple terms might help somebody come to you and trust you with your business, with their business. So that's basically what I do in a nutshell. Is I make smart people trustworthy to people who might need their services or products.
I think that's a great way to explain what you do. I mean, you do. That's exactly what you do. So some of the things and services that you provide can be as simple. I've heard you say is okay. You've got an email that you need to write, and ooh, you really probably shouldn't send it just yet. And you've offered to have people send you their nasty emails, I guess you could
Yes.
call it, and ensure that they're getting their point across, maybe not as nasty as they are, to you helping with blogs. And I mean, like, just give us an array of the different things that you do.
Yeah, so I have a niche in angry emails. So you actually get to write it and send it, which is, very cathartic, without the consequences of,
Right.
of damaging a relationship. And so I take those emails and I sanitize them, and that gives you the benefit of a cooling off period. Um, and it gives the recipient the benefit of assuming better intent and things like that. So it cools down, it's a cooling off period,
Right.
and kind of raises the professionalism of the communication so that by the time it's ready to send, it's sanitized. And that's just one part of what I do. But blogs have been kind of the chief of my work lately. Blogs are an important marketing tool. They're a great way to add your keywords to your website. So we all know keywords are the things that people plug into the old Googler, and Google spits out what they want you to see based on where their crawlers are finding it on your website. And so when we write blogs, we can add those keywords in natural writing, and then those keywords show up more on your website. Your website is being updated regularly, and now you're just kind of like growing in both in Google and in reputation, because everything you write can either build or destroy relationships. So good blogs are a way of building relationships, building trust, that when somebody sees that you're willing to give them value and explain that technical term, like I was talking about earlier, that thing that you know that they don't know, you're willing to explain it and give them that value, then now they think more highly of you and they want to work with you. So that's blogs. Another thing I've been spending a lot of time on is professional bios. And so with that, I do anything from your short 250 word, 2-paragraph bio that goes on your website or in your, usually the website is where the bio ends up, your About Me page. So I've been ramping those up for people, changing them from a pedigree to a relationship builder. Obviously, you're hearing me say the word relationship a lot. That's kind of what I do, is I build relationships through writing. And the profile, the professional bios profile package, I call it, can be as big as me giving you, I don't know, it's like 7 or 8 different ways to describe your business. So it's that professional bio, but then it's your LinkedIn profile. It's your short business description for your 50-word directories and your long business description for your premium membership directories. And a couple other things. It even includes an email intro, so that you want to be introduced as the real estate agent who specializes in XYZ. I write you an intro email so that when a contact of yours is going to introduce you, you can give them that copy and paste, and then they're saying exactly the things about you want known about you.
Oh, that's really a great idea, actually.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then case studies has been coming up recently. Case studies are something I enjoy, and that's a way to really show off your expertise. It's a way to show how you solve problems, how you come alongside people. And a case study can be a normal page on your website. It can be part of your blog strategy. It could be, I have one client where we use a case study in every single all of her services have different pages on her website, and there's a case study at the bottom of each service type to show you how that works in real life. So case studies are great. They're a way to use keywords, but they're a way to have clients put themselves in, see themselves working with you. And so, they put themselves in the shoes of your existing clients, and they're like, oh, okay, I see how this works now. And, that again, relationship. So I love case studies. Anybody who wants a case study, I'll write it.
Now, other things like you're talking about search optimization, and do you do websites? Do you revise and revamp people's websites as well?
The copy, yes. The back end of coding and messing around in your WordPress, no. But
Okay.
I will happily submit to you the copy in a nice word processing document or Google Docs, and then you hand that to your website professional who updates it to your website.
Okay. So other areas of social media, do you do any social media for people specifically? Is that something that they can hire you to do for them?
Yeah, people do hire me to write their social media copy. And so what I do there is I'll usually hand them a package of like 10 social media posts that then they can kind of plan out. Or if I'm writing blogs, I typically do blog lead-ins that they can plug in when they're posting, when they post that blog to their website. Now they have a social media post. I do not manage social media.
Okay.
Facebook is, my own Facebook is enough of a pain. And so I deal with my own Facebook and I don't deal with yours, but I will happily write all the Facebook posts you need. And then again, you hand it off to your Facebook professional, your community manager, to post that for you and schedule your posting or do it on your own.
So let's talk about someone's watching you right now. They don't know you and you don't know them. So how long of a consult do you have initially to get to know the person that's going to be hiring you? Like, how long do you need? Is it an hour conversation? Is it, a short stints of different conversations? How do you get to know that person to be their voice?
Yeah, interestingly enough, most of my business comes from networking and referrals. So a lot of my clients, we've been building a relationship before I have my first consult with them. In the case of a referral relationship, that conversation might be anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour. We just get to know each other. I get to know a lot about their values. I would say the majority of my clients are mission driven.
Okay.
They are, and that doesn't mean, that doesn't mean we're doing something like high level. Electricians are mission driven,
Mhm.
plumbers are mission driven. It's the mindset that you enter into with your business, that I exist to help people. And at the end of the day, I am motivated by a job well done. um, and so I get to know those values about people, and I get to know a little bit about their personality, and I look at other things that they have written,
Okay.
and then that gives me a pretty good sense of their voice. So our initial consultation can be anywhere up to an hour, and then once they hire me, there's usually a follow-up conversation. I have them fill out some questionnaires, but there is a follow-up conversation where I'm getting, just a little bit more detail about what they need and what they're looking for, to make sure I can cover their voice. And we kind of figure out, like, what is their style? Are they funny? Are they to the point, direct? Are they more, if they're in a helping profession, they might be a little bit more wordy, and things like that. So I'm kind of dialing in on all of that. And then once I do writing, I actually submit a draft, and my clients have full control to tweak, to say, to give suggestions, to ask for revisions, and I make those happily, so that they're proud to put their name on it at the end of it.
So when you're doing a blog for someone, and they're giving you just the initial idea, and then from there you just run with it, you do the research on it if you have to, so that you can speak intelligently yourself about something that you might not actually even know about yourself.
Exactly. We have a consultation where I find out what's the topic and what point do you want to make, and then I kind of take it from there. Um, if it's a field that I have less knowledge on, I just request a few resources, so that I make sure I'm looking at reputable sources when I look for research.
Right.
If I'm going to cite anything in somebody's blog, I'm typically going to government or industry standard websites. I'm not linking to their competitors,
Right. Right.
as part of my research. So, if I'm working with an electrician, then I'm going to maybe the EPA website or something like that to,
Okay.
yeah, to make sure that the source, that any links within their blog are going to go to some official source.
So different type of question. What is the project that you've done that you had the most fun doing? What did you find that you got true enjoyment out of?
Um, it varies. I've had profiles where I just had so much fun, making that person, I don't know, just highlighting that person's strengths, just
Okay.
me blowing up what's awesome about somebody, that brings me a lot of enjoyment. I love to be funny. So when I have a client who likes making jokes within, they like a little bit of levity. I really like that kind of writing. Um, Recently I enjoyed writing for a lawyer because I really enjoyed the educational aspect
Okay.
of, conveying what she does. And I thought it was kind of exciting to just come up with all these different ideas about what we could write about. And so I'm pretty much a creativity generalist.
Okay.
I like things that make me think.
Okay. So now we'll go to, is there anything really that like you just won't do that has, I mean, like you won't post for someone else's social media. I know that, but is there any type of thing that is just off limits you're not going to do?
I mean, I have ethical standards. So,
Okay.
um, there are, there are topics I'm probably not going to touch.
Okay.
Um, and, even things like dating and things like that. I've been married for a long time, so I can't write. I can't write about dating,
About romantic stuff.
For me, romance is a full tank of gas in my car that I didn't have to go get.
I love it.
So, anything that would challenge my ethics, I would be, I would hesitate to write. And if there is a field of study that I feel is technically well beyond my ability to convey, I'm going to have that conversation. Um, and find out what they're really looking for. If maybe it's a really technical topic, but all they need is proofreading and editing, then I'm okay.
Oh, so you do that as well.
I do a lot of proofreading and editing. Yes. So
Okay.
people who do their own writing can always come to me with what they need. But yeah, there's not a ton I turn down. If I find that a client and I are just not well suited in terms of personality, then they're for the integrity, they deserve a writer who understands them, who is in line with their values and beliefs. And so, we may need to amicably part ways.
Okay. So I always wrap up with two things. First is there something I should have asked you that I didn't ask you that you want to tell us?
I don't think so. You're very thorough and I'm talkative. So yeah, if I like to talk and I like to write, so beware. But no, I think you covered pretty much what I do in a nutshell. I mean, I guess, my mission is to make other people look good in their writing, and I hope that I made that clear.
Well, and you can help anyone anywhere at all because you don't need to be in front of them.
Right.
Everything can be done electronically. We have the world of Zoom now, or any of the other platforms that you can use, and you can have conversation with them and then type up what they want and shoot it over to them, and there doesn't have to be a face-to-face.
Right.
You can help anyone anywhere.
Yeah.
So if they want to contact you to help you, how can you be reached?
I can be reached at email, Leah, Leah, at sculptededitorial.com. You can visit my website, sculptededitorial.com. I think that's it. And I do have a phone number, 267-490-0682, if I have that memorized correctly. And yeah, that's how you reach me.
Awesome. So guys, I can tell you that I know a lot of people that have utilized your services, Leah. I've talked about a couple of things with you as well that you've given me some guidance and instruction on. And you just really know your stuff, and you keep all those nasty emails discreet. You don't share them with anyone. You're not dishing the dirt. You're keeping it all on the quiet end, right?
Yep. My guilty pleasure. Yeah, that's my
That's
trash
awesome.
that I get to read. And
That's awesome. That's awesome. So guys, honestly, if you haven't looked at your LinkedIn profile, if you haven't looked at your Facebook business page, and you don't even have a Facebook business page and you need to create something, those are all things that Leah can help you with. And she's awesome. So thank you very much for hanging out with me this week.
thank you for having me. I love what you're doing here and love watching your weekly posts.
We're going to continue to educate people on all the awesome people that I know. So guys, I hope that you have a fantastic week, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.